Hello, welcome back to the channel. So this week I'm going to be giving you some pieces of advice if you have been auditioning for drama school for multiple years. So auditioning for drama school over multiple years is not uncommon. So if you have been in that situation, or if you are currently in that situation, then don't start thinking that that is somehow odd, because if anything, getting in the first year is more of the exception to the rule than the rule itself. So you've been auditioning for multiple years and you still haven't got a place. So when you go into the next audition season, you usually end up with one of two mindsets. You either have the positive mindset, which is, this is going to be my year, I'm fully prepared, I know what I'm doing. Or you've got more of a negative mindset, which is, well, I haven't got in so far, so what's going to be different this year? I'm probably not going to get in this year. And these two reactions, these two mindsets are totally understandable. And with each of them, there are certain things that you need to look out for before you approach your next audition season. So let's approach the first mindset, which is, this is going to be my year, that really kind of positive mindset. And I love this mindset because you've already kind of, really hit the ground running with the hope, the openness, the determination, all of that is there. But there are things to keep in mind for it. So make sure that when you begin auditioning for drama schools again, that you are evaluating the work that you have done so far in previous audition seasons, and that you are adapting your approach. So actually a massive benefit to auditioning multiple years is the fact that you get to gain so much more information and knowledge about how different schools operate their auditions. Whereas if this was your first time, then you're going into the complete unknown, and nerves tend to come up even more when we're going into a situation where we don't know what's going to be happening. So the trick is to actually use that insight, use that knowledge that you've gained to your advantage. So you now know how all of the schools are operating. You need to be able to evaluate your work as to whether you were or not fulfilling the brief for that particular school. The approach should always be, when I know better, I should do better. So once you've gained that information, once you've gained that knowledge of particular schools, then you need to utilize it. Because the thing is, if you're approaching each and every audition for each and every school over multiple years in the same way, so with the same material, the same mindset, the same work ethic, the same preparation style, all of that, and you're still not getting the result that you want, you're still getting the rejection, or you're not getting to the final rounds, or you're getting to the final rounds but no more, then that is going to tell you something. It's going to tell you that you need to start to actually take your process into account and figure out what's falling short for you. Now, in my opinion, you should be changing your audition material, like your speeches and your songs, each and every year that you audition. Because the thing is, a lot changes over a year, including yourself and how you observe and have opinions of the world. So that's going to manifest itself in the material that you approach with. And also, audition panels tend to be the same people each and every year. They might adapt a few people here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be the same kind of people. And they might remember you from previous years. And if they do, for good reason, then that's fantastic. But if they notice that you're using the same material again and again, then they're going to start to question why you're doing that. And most of the time the opinion comes with, well, they haven't done anything over the year. They've not found new material. They haven't worked on anything new. Why should we be taking a risk on them? They've not changed and adapted over the year, which is what we want. Audition panels always want to see a difference over the year. If they're not going to accept you one year, then it's usually down to the fact that they want to see you go out and have some lived experience in the world, so that you have more of a rounded understanding of people and places and events, or that you just weren't at that particular stage to be able to begin training. So you want to be able to demonstrate that you've actually leveled up, in a sense, over the year. And if you haven't done that, then the panel has no incentive to take a risk on you and recall you or offer you a place. Now for the people that have more of the negative mindset of, well, I've auditioned multiple years and I've not got in, so what's going to be the difference this year? Now the first thing to do is stop it. Seriously, just stop with that kind of mindset, because that is helping no one. And again, like I said before, it is a totally understandable mindset to have. It totally is, and it is backed by science. Our brains are designed to keep us safe. And a negative thought is actually easier to approach than a positive thought, because a positive thought is more attached to things like change and risk and all of that kind of stuff, where you evolve and grow and go on to experience new things. With the negative thing, it is designed to keep you safe because it wants to keep you in the same place. So if your brain is now approaching with this mindset of, well, you shouldn't risk it because you risked it before and it hurt, didn't it? And we don't like it when it hurts, so maybe just stay safe and don't go for it, or don't try as hard because you're not going to get it. It's all designed to keep you safe. So that's a totally understandable thing. But what that does, along with keeping you safe, it keeps you small. And the one time that you don't want to be small is when you are auditioning for something that you really, really want. So the thing to start doing now is to actually do a little mind interrupt. So once you actually become aware of those negative thoughts coming up, you actually need to interrupt them. So if the thought is, well, I'm never going to get into drama school, cut that short, change it, flip it, adapt it. I haven't got into drama school yet. That yet is actually such a pivotal word. It is something that actually requires so much commitment and power and belief in yourself. That yet shows that you have the potential to shift and change, as opposed to it being persistent and permanent, which is, I'm never going to get into drama school. Other things to think about when you've got that negative opinion of approaching the next audition season. Just being aware of whether you are comparing yourself to other people. So look, there are thousands of people auditioning for drama schools each and every year. The competition is fierce because there aren't that many spaces. Most drama school year groups will range from about 20, maybe 25, potentially up to 30, depending on the school, out of thousands. So yeah, the competition is really, really fierce, and the likelihood of you getting a place is slim. It's slim, but it's not impossible, because there are people out there who are getting places, so why can't that be you? But the comparison is always there. When you know that you're competing with other people, you start to compare yourself to their success, especially if you have friends that are going through the process as well, who are finding some level of success. If they're getting accepted to courses, if they're getting recalls and you're not, it's really, really difficult not to kind of go, oh, well, they're getting it, why am I not? If anything, use that as information, use that as knowledge. So what was their approach? And actually deconstruct it that way, as opposed to just going, well, they're better than me, or they always get things when I don't. But never compare yourself by pedestaling other people, by actually saying, well, they're better, they're up here and I'm all the way down here. It's not on that field, it's not on that plane. If anything, if we're going to compare, then I would actually encourage you to compare yourself, to who you were yesterday, to who you were last week, to who you were in the last audition season. Because in the end, you're the only person that is actually able to evolve and change. So compare yourself to your old self. See how far you've come. See what journey you've been on. Use that journey, that growth, that improvement to fuel you. You start to become so much more self-aware when you're actually taking stock of your own journey as opposed to anybody else's. Because other people's journeys are not your responsibility. So get it out of your head that you need to compare yourself to other people in this sphere. And another thing to be mindful of is keeping the faith. Yes, when you keep getting rejections year after year, it can be really difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But keeping the faith is going to be really, really important in your next audition season. Take stock of the fact that just turning up for a second year or a third year or a fourth year of auditioning, even though you had rejection previously, shows a huge amount of courage, of faith, of vulnerability, of hope. These are really admirable qualities, and especially having that persistence and that determination, that is going to stand you in such good stead in the industry going forward, because it doesn't stop there. The competition and the rejection and the somewhat ruthlessness of the industry is going to be there once you graduate. So if you have a healthy approach to rejection from this stage, that is going to stand you in a massive, massive stead going forward. But regardless of what mindset you're currently approaching the audition season with, whether you've got that positive approach to it or whether you've got that negative mindset attached to it, for both of those things, I would always say that be mindful of potentially downsizing. And what I mean by this is, if you've auditioned for multiple years, you're going to get a flavour and a feel of the different schools that you've auditioned for. And the general thing is, you're not going to like them all. And that's okay. You can't like every single school that you apply for. Some just don't gel with you. Some just don't feel as if they kind of suit you very much. I remember when I was auditioning for drama schools, and I auditioned for about 8 or 9 in one cycle over one season. And there were only a couple that I went, ooh, do you know what? I like it here, I could see myself here. And others that I was like, oh, I really don't like the energy here. It just doesn't feel right for me. So even if I was recalled there, or even if I was offered a place there, I would kind of think twice about whether I actually wanted to go there. Because if it isn't somewhere that I enjoyed being, even just for one day over an audition, then what makes me think that I'm going to enjoy it over a 3-year period? Don't ignore that gut instinct that you have. And don't be afraid to downsize the next year that you audition. If you didn't like the school, then don't apply there again. There's no point in doing that. Don't approach it from that scarcity mindset of, well, I need to audition everywhere because I want to go to drama school. And if I audition loads and loads of places, then at least one person will take me. It increases the odds of me getting accepted. And yeah, okay, statistically, it does. The more places you apply, the more likelihood you have of being accepted somewhere. But do you want to just go somewhere, or do you want to go to a school that really, really appeals to you, that feels like it fits like a glove for you? It would probably be better to apply even for 2 or 3 schools, or even one school that matches your energy, that you feel passionate about, and putting all of your effort and your thought and your energy into nailing the audition at that one place. Now, of course, if there are 5 or 6 that you're like, no, I really like it here as well, then that's totally fine too. But just be mindful of the places that you've auditioned and applied to previously that you weren't really sold on. If you weren't sold on it first time round, or even second time round, then the likelihood is it's not for you. So don't put your energy there. Put your energy in the place that you feel passionate about. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then just make sure that you click like and that you subscribe to the channel, and that you tell everybody about it, and that you comment below. It really helps to kind of spread the word and get this information to as many people as possible who are applying to drama schools or who are professional actors. I'm just really passionate about kind of getting this information out there and helping as many people as I can. So if you click like and subscribe, then that would mean the world. But until next time, thank you so much. Bye.